Hi guys, welcome to another video of how do I do this one. In today's video I'm going to show you how to clean the humidifier that's Homedics Ultrasonic Total Comfort one, which is hot and cold. So we all use humidifier, but it depends on the humidity in your home. We use to either ease our congestions and all that, but since it's being a water one, there is always some dirt that will be forming in the pipes. So to clean this humidifier, first thing that you need to do is you need to remove this water tank. You can just lift it and empty, and then you can take this. Now I have emptied the water already. To empty the water, all you need to do is just remove this one. So once you open it, you can empty the water and then make sure you dry this, give a couple of rinse and dry it out. And once these two tanks are out, now you will have the back compartment. There is a cover that is also being kept. So for the lean transducer plate, it will be written as. So you can just lift this and you can just pull it down and you can take it out. And I have cleaned a little bit here, but you can see the dirt and everything that's deep inside, where that's what we are going to clean this today. So if this is where the water goes in, imagine there may be the same thing that may be formed inside also. And to get this first, also if you want, you can remove this one as well, the one which lets the water in. So that just comes off if you pull it off, and this one is just a liftable one where you can just take this out as well. So to remove this back spot, all you need to do is there are different screws over here on the sides, and there is one in the deep in here and one on the top. And the same goes on the other side as well. So we are going to remove all these screws, and for removing this screw, all you need is a Phillips screwdriver like this. And then it's a very thin small screwdriver because you can see the body is not that big. It's not that broad one, so you need a smaller one. And this is the size of the screw. And we are going to remove all that. So as I mentioned, I have removed all these screws. Now the other two that is left out is these two at the bottom here. So we can remove these two as well. And even for these screws, all you need is just the same Phillips screwdriver which you used on the top. And be gentle, don't apply too much of pressure on it because all these are made of plastic. So there is a possibility of it getting broken. So just make sure you're gentle on it, and even when you're putting it back, don't apply too much pressure or too much tight to the screwdriver when you're reassembling it back. So once you remove all the 4 screwdrivers, come to the side compartment. So it's going to be like you have to pry it open. So once you remove these clips, it's easier, and then go along. Don't try to make a force in one place. As I mentioned again, it's plastic. So if you're putting too much pressure in one place, you may break it. So go over evenly on the sides as well from the top, and you can take this portion easily out of it. So that's the front portion of the humidifier that came off now. Now as you can see, there are some screws as well. Let's see if we need to remove this also to access this water pipeline, the humidifier pipeline as well. So now we have removed the front one, and then what we are going to do is we are going to remove these screws that's holding the humidifier spread out sprout. So there are 3 screws on this, 2 on the sides and 1 on the top. And once we remove these 3, you can take this out and you can see the dirt inside, and this is what we are going to try to clean today. And that's the humidifier tap where it comes from, so we are trying to clean that as well, all the dirt that's formed at the bottom of the tube, if you see, notice here. For us to access this one, we need to remove the control panel. So to remove the control panel, you have 3 screws, the same like the top one. It's like 1 on the top and then 2 on the side ones. And now the last one that we are coming up with. once you remove that, you should be able to get this off of your way, but be gentle because there are cables that's been plugged in. But if you want to be little more careful, if you're comfortable, you can remove these. These are just pull out and then you can just put it back in, but I won't recommend because it's being very thin. So if you want, you can just leave it out like this. And then now we are going to access the wall one, so where you need to remove these 4 screws. And those are the 2. Now if you feel like your screwdriver is not enough, if you have a thin one, I would recommend to use the thin one as well. Like mine is little bone thick. So let's go ahead and remove the other 2 on the top, and then I'll use another screwdriver to remove that one. And the top 2 are done. And now I'll remove this, and then I'll show you how to remove the humidifier chamber in the back. This one. This is what we are trying to remove now with the screws. As you can see how it's loose on the top. This is the only screw that's holding right now. I've removed the 4 screws that's holding the back pipeline. So now all you need to do is just hold this, and then you can just give us some wiggle on it. Or you can use this hole and pop it out in the back, and that should come out as well. And that's the dirt that you are seeing. So if you want to, you can just use the baby wipes to clean this out. And also you can see the dirt in the bottom. So these are the water residues that's been left out on your humidifier. So once the season is done, all that we do mostly is we just go ahead and clean the water tank, and we just clean the base, and we pack it up, and then we start using it for the next season. But just for a healthy living, because this is what you're going to breathe when you're sleeping. So for the next season, if you don't clean this, there is a possibility of any bacteria or fungus can form. And when you turn on the humidifier, you're going to smell a bad, like you will get a bad odor on it. And there is a rubber tube that they have given, which will also can come off, and you can clean this as well because you can see the dirts on the rim on it. So I'm going to clean this with baby wipes. If you want, you can use dishwashing soap liquid, and you can give a rinse. And once that's done, we can go ahead and assemble it back. See, I have this back one where the dirt is there. All I'm using is just a baby wipes, and give some gentle rub on it. And as I mentioned, if you want, you can go ahead and use a dishwashing liquid and a brush as well to clean this off, and use a soft rag. And even the back wall is also the same. Just go ahead and use. And in case if you feel like you are allergic to any dust or debris like this, like you can use a hand glove as well, just to have your precaution. And make sure you give a full clean rim on it. And now on the base walls, so you can see this is how it is originally. And now I'm going to go ahead and clean this as well. And you can give a complete clean on the sides. Okay, and we have cleaned that now. And let's go back to the machine, and in the back you can see the wall on it, like how dirty it is. And we are going to clean this as well. So again, this I won't recommend washing with a liquid, because your bottom, the electronic units are in the base of this. So I would just take the baby wipes, and you can just give a complete clean. And that's the dirt that's been coming up from it. And once you're doing this, in case if you have a place where you cannot reach it, you can use the same screwdriver itself. Just give a roll and then you can just give a push on it. So that way you won't be able to miss any places even if you're not able to reach the place. So just give a gentle push on the, drop the wipes, and you can just go ahead and use your screwdriver itself for this. Stack the baby wipe like I've rolled it, and then you can use the screwdriver itself for the very tough places where you cannot use your hands. Or if you want, you can use a toothpick if you have one at your home. Anything that's thin than your finger thickness so that you can reach the hard spots. Now let's see how we are done. And now you can still see here. Now for example, this is the purpose why we are cleaning. Like these are the things that forms in the dirt of the water itself. And now there is one more spot which needs to be cleaned, which is this base. And now that's pretty much it. And now you can see that it's been given a complete clean. And now we can go ahead and start reassembling the tube. And I have one more spot here. I'm sorry. So now you can see how it's been cleaned up, and you can see the dirt that's been coming off, and this is the kind of the dirt that we pulled up. Again, I'm saying if you're allergic to any dirts or anything, these are water dried out ones, but in case if you feel like you may be allergic, you can use gloves to clean all this. And that's the cleaned up pack. Now all that we need to do is we'll go ahead and start assembling it back, and that's the back pipe as well. So to assemble it back, always work the reverse way. So we removed this as the last one, so now we are going to put that as the first one now. Or there is no alignment or you need to look for anything, it just sits perfectly fine. Make sure it's fully tight, and once you're sure, let's go ahead and fix the 4 screws that we removed, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom here. I have fixed these 4 screws, and make sure again, as I mentioned during the time of removing it, don't give too much of pressure when you're tightening it back, because these all are plastic, it may break. And now the next step will be aligning your control panel. So make sure you're able to align this correctly, and then we'll go ahead and fix the 3 screws that we removed from this, 2 on the sides and 1 on the top. And this is also plastic one, so once you feel a snuggle, just leave that. Don't try to tighten it too much and break the plastic. That's it, that should do good. And now the final one for the control panel. It's on the top. Done. Once you have the control panel installed, then we'll go ahead and install this rubber base on it. So you can see the long spout goes on the shape of that itself. Once you place that, I have cleaned this. Unfortunately, they haven't made this a removable one, so I have used as much as toothpick to get in and then clean all that and make sure the dirt has been gone. And the top portion, the opening has to be on the top, and then just go ahead and insert it and make sure you're aligning it right. So once you align it right, you will get all the 3 places on the right spot, and then you may see the 4th screw, but if you remember originally when you removed itself, it was not there, and there is nothing to hold at the back as well. So all you need to do is just fix these 3 that we removed it from there. Okay, that's one is in, and now you have to get the other 2 sides. And then once you're done with this, all we need to do is just install the outer cover. So as you can see, I have installed the 3 screws and made this a snuggle. And now all you need to do is just put this outer cover. For outer cover, I won't recommend starting it from the top. Rather, I would start from the base. The reason being, when you go to the base, you can slide it in an angle and you can see it's been covered and the clips are being inserted correctly. So that way you can readjust on the top. So just make sure you are sliding in gentle and give us little push. The plastic locks gets locked in. And once that's done, and this is the other alignment also on the side that you have to look in on both the sides. So make sure it's into it. And then you can hear these sounds, which is the lock of this plastic locks. And once that's done, you can go out on the top and then give a gentle press on the sides just to make sure the sides ones are also get fit in. So you should not have any problem in getting this fixed if you have aligned this correctly, and we should be good. Now let's go in the back portion of the humidifier compartment. Now we have to start off with the 2 screws that we have done. So once you fix the outer panel, come back and you remember we have removed the 2 screws from the base for this back wall. So we have to install them. And once we install these 2 screws, we'll go on the sides, the outer panel screws on the sides. And then we just need to install these back. Now let's go ahead and start with the screws on the base. Okay. Now we have installed the 2 screws that we removed from here and all the side panel screws as well. The front one. The next one we are going to put is this. You can just drop this on this one directly here. And then you do have this, that's the cover on the top. So for this, the 4 leg pattern should go down, where you'll hold this just on the top like this. And then you have the door that they have mentioned. Open this cover to clean the transducer plate, which is this. So for this, all you need to do is hold this cap on the top and go to the bottom here, and then just once you lay it here, just bring it to this line, and that's it. So which means you have covered now, and all that is left out is now we have to go ahead and just install the water tank. And once the water tank is installed, we can pack and keep it ready for the next season to be used. And next season, when you're going to use, you're going to have a clean humidifier which doesn't stink or doesn't give any bad odor when you turn it on for the first time. If you like my videos, please do leave your comments and please do subscribe. Thank you for watching.